Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon I'll discuss the title Network Economy and Post-E-Commerce Strategy in China. First, welcome to this class. According to the Beijing time standard, now in Chongqing is 14:30. So I say, how are you this afternoon? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to come this class. In today's class, I want to mainly discuss three problems. The one is the overview of network economy in China. The second is rural e-commerce mode in China. And the third is post-e-commerce strategy in China. And the total lecture may be divided into two parts. The first 1 and 2 belongs to the former part, and the third part belongs to the second part. And the total lecture time is about 2.5 hours. And at the midway, we will have a short break, about 15 minutes. After the short break, I will continue our lessons. Okay? Let's discuss the first problem, overview of network economy in China. Concerned the economy or network economy and rural e-commerce in China, there are much kind of characteristics. The following, I'll introduce some of them to you. The first is, with the rapid development of e-commerce and logistics, the urban market has been saturated gradually, and various e-commerce enterprises begin to turn their eyes to the countryside or rural area. The second is the development of cold chain logistics, realize the long-distance transportation of agricultural products. The further increase of rural internet users provides opportunity, especially with the rapid growth of per capita income in rural areas and the reduction of the gap between urban and rural areas. The rural market has great potentiality. And compared with the traditional e-commerce, e-commerce provides more market for agricultural products. Policy support. China implemented the targeted poverty alleviation policy. Rural revitalization, and etc. There are much kind of policy regulation in this aspect. Of course, no. In this aspect, China have already get much achievement. The improvement of infrastructure and the connection between villages and roads are of great significance to the realization of logistics. In China, beginning at the century, implementing the policy in Chinese is 村村通工程. In this aspect, mainly concerned three aspects. The first is highway. That means the rural area or the village can access the highway networks. The second is electricity. That means in rural area can use the electricity. And the third is communication. Namely, in rural area, the people can use the communication, can use the telephone, mobile phone. Okay, this is called the three connection engineering. And in rural area, the three connection engineering has much significance to the logistics or the rural e-commerce development. The service aspect is improvement of farmers' cultural levels, enable them to accept online shopping and carry out online shopping. These are the general background for China's economy and rural e-commerce development. And China president also advocate to development the social, the network economy. He said, contradiction needs to be resolved in China development. Socialism with China characteristics has entered a new era, and the major social contradiction in China has been transformed into the contradiction between the people's growing needs for a better life and the unbalanced and inadequate development. Now, the mankind has entered such a historic stage of the Internet era. It is a world trend, and this Internet era has played a great role in promoting the development of human life, production, and productivity. And China Premier Li Keqiang also See, in this aspect, I run into advertise for online shopping, express delivery, e-commerce, and other new formats because it greatly promotes the employment, creates jobs, and stimulates consumption. Standing on the drought of the internet plus and following the trend will make China's economy development. Now, China seeks number one in world today. From this aspect, we can see the China's economic general situation. The first one is high-speed rail. The second is electronic commerce. And the third is electronic payment. And the fourth is sharing economy. And the fifth is manufacturing skill. And the sixth is total merchandise trade. In this six, number one in the world for China today, the electronic commerce, electronic payment, total merchandise trade, and etc. concerned the e-commerce. And the development of internet in the world, as everyone knows, the network economy originated in 1990s, and at 2000, beginning from 2003, the total value reached the 10 billion scale, and beginning from 2008, the total value reached 1 billion, 100 billion, and beginning from 2013, and the total value reached trillion. Beginning from 2015, the total value reached 10 trillion. This is a totally situation or general situation for international economy development. Why the economy, network economy, develop so speed? Here, I introduce the characteristics of e-commerce economy. Generally speaking, for network economy, there are 3 high and 1 low characteristics. The 3 high, as the picture shows, the first is high growth. Speaking from the growth rate, you may say, from 2010 to 2020, within 20 years, within 10 years, the total value increased 10 times. The average yearly growth rate is about 25.8%. This is the first high. The second high is high efficiency. That to say, we use the economy networkers, mainly demonstrated by the e-commerce at recent 10 or 20 years is the e-commerce economy or e-commerce trade. With the in e-commerce has the characteristics is linear supply chain collaborative. For the company, when use the e-commerce, he can get the collaborative value network, and the collaborative has the linear supply chain characteristics. The important case is the cloud platform. Maybe you know, in China, there are many kinds of internet company such as Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, and etc. In every internet company, there are much kinds of service serving the consumption, serving the production, serving the social life in various areas. Now is one kind of important application or services cloud platform, such as in Alibaba, the Alibaba clouds, in Tencent clouds, in China Telecom company, the C.I.A. clouds, in reload information hardware manufacturer Huawei, the Huawei clouds. The company use this kind of clouds service or clouds platform. They can get the value network benefit from the upstream to the downstream, and connected every section and get the benefit again or the cost saving. This brings the operation efficiency to the company. Then, in the society, naturally produce the high efficiency. This is the second. The third is in e-commerce economy or network economy, you can get the overflow or high spillover effect. In e-commerce, namely belongs to the sale era, traditionally called retail. When we use the retail or e-commerce to complete the retail, they can expand from two ends. The first one is forward raw material, then manufacturer, then power enterprise. The other end is logistic finance. When using the e-commerce to the retail, no matter the wholesale or the on-sale, or the wholesale or retail, they naturally cost the raw material manufacturer, power enterprise, and the logistic and finance services development. We call this as high spillover effect. And the fourth characteristic is no consumption. That is, when you use the e-commerce or develop the network economy, we can decrease the consumption, especially the energy consumption. Decrease the resource consumption. Here's an example. In year of 2012, network retail saved 1.10 million tons of standard cooler. Of course, with the e-commerce economy development, not only the total society economy get benefit, but also increase the people's life quality. This is the characteristics of the e-commerce economy. Some specialists do some research how the e-commerce increased the economy development. Here you can see using the e-commerce, it can increase the new buying. Here is an example. If only the offline consumption, now in 1 unit selling, the offline accounts for only 0.61, and the other 0.39 belongs to the new increment. This is in the traditional big city. In China means the every metropolitan city, or the province scale city, or the cities scale city, and to the third and fourth tier city. Using the e-commerce, it can increase the buying or consumption arriving 0.57, that is higher than in traditional big city. Here is an example. March 2013, McKinsey released this number, this case. Okay. And besides on the line trading online retail transaction, that is to say, in 2018, the total retail transaction was line trading. The new consumption brought by e-commerce reached 3.51 trillion. That is to say, in 2018, if there was no e-commerce, and the total retail transaction only $5.49 trillion, less 3.51 trillion less than the actual 9 trillion. To some extent, this is the demonstration of the e-commerce role to the social economy. And national e-commerce into rural area. Just now, I say China President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang both advocate develop China's economy and support the rural area development. And the important measure is to let the e-commerce into rural area and promulgate much kind of policy to support these aspects, activities. First, promote the comprehensive demonstration of e-commerce in rural areas. In 2018, 260 demonstration counties were added, including 238 national poverty stricken counties, accounting for 91.5% since 2014, have supported 1,016 demonstration counties, covering 737 national poverty stricken counties, including 137 deep poverty counties in 3 districts and 3 prefectures, accounts for 88.6% of all 832 national poverty-stricken counties. The first measure is to implement the comprehensive demonstration for e-commerce into rural areas, especially in 3 districts and 3 prefectures. As you know, in China, the 3 districts and 3 prefectures belongs to the most impoverished area. Called the 3 districts means the Tibet Autonomous Region and the Tibetan people located area in Sichuan province, Gansu province, Yunnan province, and Qinghai province, plus the 4 prefecture of South Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. This is called 3 districts. And 3 prefecture means in Lujiang Prefecture in Yunnan Province, Liangshan Prefecture in Sichuan Province, and in Ningxiazhou in Gansu Province. The 3 districts and 3 prefectures is the most poor or poverty area in China. And during the course of implementing e-commerce into rural, especially promoting the demonstration counties, first in these 3 districts and 3 prefectures, select the demonstration county. This is the first measure. The second is further promote the poverty alleviation through e-commerce. In the second aspect, they focus the concrete measure, including focus the poor areas, focusing making channels more practical and better, and make effect to give full play to the actual effect. Focusing on the 3 docking. The first dock is working mechanism dock. The second dock is product dock. The third dock is precise docking with poor household. In China, we call it as this targeted poor household. Get the enterprise to explore the one household, one number. One household, one number docking mode, so that let the poor people, the real people, get the real benefit. In second measure, we call this is the targeted poverty alleviation. Don't use the method of broad irrigation in China's 精准扶贫，不搞大水漫灌。This is the second concrete measure. From the beginning to September 2018, national production and marketing docking and e-commerce poverty alleviation channel docking activities were held in Zhengzhou, Henan Province, and Liangshan, Sichuan Province, respectively, to organize channel enterprise and poverty-stricken counties to carry out production and marketing matchmaking. Up to now, the number of e-commerce poverty alleviation channel enterprise has reached 21, connecting more than 500 national poverty-stricken counties and realizing product sales 20 billion yuan. This is the accomplishment of targeted alleviation. The third is strengthen the training of rural e-commerce, that is, to support and strengthen training the talent for doing business in rural area. Because of the time reason here, I don't discuss it in detail. Ladies and gentlemen, you may read the content of the class. And in China, within 10 years, the innovation and development in e-commerce in China. This part I also don't discuss in detail. You may read it after class. Generally speaking, within 10 years, China's the e-commerce get much development, especially in the innovation. In China, get much accomplishment, demonstrated as the concrete number. And here is the rank of rural e-commerce in China. And here is the rank of urban e-commerce development in China. The second part, I discuss some typical e-commerce model in rural. Maybe you are interested more in it. The first mode is spontaneous organization mode. In this mode, the farmer organizes their own business. After one farmer's successful exploration, it will drive people from the same village or same town or same county to jointly open online store and operate the same product. For example, Zhaomei village in Fujian province is a hometown of China's traditional painting crafts. Now become a real Taobao village. Each painting crafts products occupying 1/2 of total network market. The last one is 20. Zhaomei villages 20 industry. Okay. The second mode is industry re-engineering mode. In this mode, using e-commerce to rebuild the competitive advantage for the traditional industry. For example, C.I.A village in Zhejiang province used to be a teaching toy industry base. Of course, to the traditional teaching toy industry, no or lose its competitiveness at the traditional operation background. But when the economy era, network economy comes, this village regain each competitive advantage. The concrete measure is as follows. First is it implementing online and offline integration to rebuild the teaching toy production process and reactivate the trading mode. The first is offline-online integration and rebuild the teaching toy production process or re-engineering the toy production process. The second is more than 150 of the villages, 213 households have opened a store to sell education toys on Taobao, naturally forming a strong e-commerce attempts field in the village. Naturally receive the advantage of the industrial base. The third mode is resource-based industry mode. In this mode, the expanding online sales channels and developing new markets through the third-party trading platform, depending on the advantage of local resources. Our farmers' cases is Taobao Village, of Beiyou Village is a famous or typical cases in Zhejiang province. In this village, it relies on the advantage of local, or not one kind of fruit resources, and the sales volume accounts for 1/3 of Zhejiang province and 1/10 of China. The third mode is take advantage of local resource and the third-party trading platform. We also say integrate the local resource and the third-party trading platform. And the fourth mode is characteristics industry mode. In this mode, that is to create a new industry. Using this kind of mode, here create a new industry in one village or town or area. In this area or this town, no advantage of local resources. With the help of e-commerce platform, the typical case is Saji Town in Jiangsu province. In Saji Town, there is no advantage of forest resources. But with the help of Taobao platform, a furniture processing industry cluster group created here. We may see the concrete situation. Now in China, where farmers rural e-commerce development mode, Saji mode, industry cross-border integration, and innovation. In this kind of mode, in Chinese is 两头在外, means here means two heads out. The concrete meaning is in this area, though they forward one kind of industry, but in fact both the material and commodity comes from the outside. So we call this mode as two heads out. For example, in Saji, the natural condition is silent allocated land. with per capita GDP rank the fourth lowest in Jiangsu province, has no natural resources such as mineral and energy, and no furniture processing tradition. Originally engaged in waste recycling. In 2006, a young man resigned from the county mobile company and opened the first online shop which is engaged in online sales and processing of assembled furniture. Such a town has developed from scratch in 2012 three farmer online business and 2,051 online stores. Total sales reached 1.2 billion yuan in 2014. Total sales 4 billion yuan renminbi and more than 8 billion in 2017. Now, in Saji, already formed a Saji furniture industry cluster. In Saji County, there are 302 furniture factories. There are 22 logistic express companies. There are 1 online store service provider. There are 5 wood plate enterprise. There are 7 woodworking machinery accessories factory. There are 8 furniture accessories factory. There are 4 wood and other raw material accessories factory. We may say an integrated furniture industry cluster already formed here. And the 5th mode is rural Taobao. Formerly operated June 1, 2017, cooperate with the local government to establish a public service center at the county level. Rural Taobao is very farmers' typical rural e-commerce, and the influence and the coverage and the concrete effect now in China very, very great. In rural Taobao mode, there are following aspects. The first is the government provides publicity, finance, value, training, and other support. Here, I want to tell you, in China, just now I said, beginning from this century, in countryside or rural area, China government implemented the three connect engineering called 三通工程, namely must connect the highway, electricity, and communication networks into the rural area. And afterwards, besides on the three connection engineering, added two other aspects, namely the water drainage becomes the five connecting engineering. Now, in China, in some city, including some place, including city and rural area, still adding another two aspects, that is, the gas and heat supply must be connected. So now in China, the infrastructure, in fact, the totally should include 7 connect, that is, highway, electricity, communication, water, drainage, gas, and heat. Of course, depending on the practical situation, from the 3 at least to the 7 highest, every place the concrete axis connecting has some difference. When implementing the rural Taobao in county or rural area, the first thing is the government, the local government, provides publicity, finance, value, training, and other support. Here means the electricity, communication, highway, and other kind of support. Besides all this, naturally get into the second aspect, that is, the public service center is responsible for the operation of audit county, regional management. The audit county means the regional management, business development, and the assessment of the pattern of the VG Taobao. That is, when rural Taobao project decide to do one concrete project in one place, the government, especially, of course, the national government, responsible for providing the infrastructure support, and the practical operation is responsible by the audit county. The third is at the village level, a rural Taobao service station is established. Its main function is purchasing, collection, and distribution of the express mail, online sales of local agricultural products. That is to say, in rural Taobao, if in one county, where practice this project. In fact, it must complete 3 aspects. First is concerned the infrastructure. Responsible by the government for providing support. Second is the Taobao need to establish other county in the rural area, in the county. And at its gathering, the village level rural Taobao station were established. The rural Taobao station, in fact, is the terminal of the Taobao County. Its function mainly including 2 aspects. The first is purchasing the commodity. The second is distribution the commodity. That is collection, distribution, purchasing. We may also summarize this as 2 aspects. The first is to help the rural people to sell their agriculture product. The second is help rural people buying commodity and deliver the commodity to the people. This is the rural Taobao. The another typical mode is Jingdong e-commerce. Related to the rural Taobao, the Jingdong e-commerce is another kind of rural e-commerce. In this model, we may call it double line development, channel thinking. That is to say, simultaneous promotion of Jingdong County Service Center and Jingdong Bang Service Center. Here, Jingdong County Service Center self-run mode. The marketing, distribution, display for commodities on the platform of Jingdong now begin the recruitment and training of rural promoter for the development of the rural market. The Jingdong Bang implementing a franchise mode responsible for distribution, installation, maintenance, and marketing for large household appliances in Jingdong platform. Here, the channel thinking means develop the 4 to 6 levels market by the advantage of self-run product and Jingdong Bank put forward the goal of the village people and city people enjoy the same consumption services. Here, the channel thinking means or mainly demonstrate the company develop and establish the town and village station, service station. In China, from the metropolitan city to the province city and city and county, this is traditional 4-grade. And under county, there are the town and village. Traditional belongs to the 4th to 6th. Called channel thinking means develop the terminal of Jingdong logistic, especially in the town and village, establish what kind of service station. In the channel thinking, there are two important work or tasks. The first is march into rural assumption market to promote the sales of agriculture and silent product. That to say, when they establish the town or village service station, the first task is to promote selling the agriculture product, selling the sideline product. That is to help rural people sell their product to increase their revenue. The second task is hold the regional agriculture special products shopping festival, rodeo funding, and etc. Based on the first task, the second task is to increase the business or agricultural business atmosphere and increase the rural people doing agricultural product business ability. Here, concerning the crowd selling, that is to say, when the rural people want to process their agricultural products to increase some value, they need money. How to get money? The Jingdong e-commerce establish one function is use the crowdfunding to finance the rural people, to support them do its own agricultural business. This is very helpful or colorful to develop rural e-commerce or develop rural economy. 乐春桃 In 2014, Taiyuan Shanxi Province building a two-way supply and demand platform. The meaning of the rural aim is faster transfer of goods, service, and information to the countryside, and then transfer agricultural product, labor, and agricultural information to the city. Mainly concerning two aspects task areas. The first is promote the construction of rural infrastructure, optimize the rural industrial structure, and form a closed business flow, logistics, information flow, and cash flow circulation system. Second is promotes the coverage level by recruiting professional franchise and integrating retail outlets in villages and towns, and transport urban industrial products to rural areas through e-commerce platform and village level franchise store. That is to say, from the outstanding perspective, in rural e-commerce model, there are these 7 kinds of. Except this, for today's title is Post-Development Strategy. There is the last one is Go in China. Post-Happy Purchase Go 2016, China Post and Tom Group. Build an e-commerce platform serving small and micro store enterprise. There are 3 functions. The first is there is a software system. Mail shopkeeper build online sales channels. The second is both computer and mobile shopkeeper app can be used. The third is upload your own offline goods, decorate your shop, set prices, carry out promotion activities, forwarding, and promoting stores in QQ and WeChat group. Now, in China, this is a mode for China Post Company to support the rural area development, that is Go, another kind of e-commerce. Follow me, I discuss or introduce some typical post e-commerce mode. The first one is WeChat metrics plus outlets plus e-commerce platform This is a provisional WeChat platform composed of WeChat public platform in cities and counties. Its function is transformation entrance of e-commerce platform. Composed of three functions. The first one is combined with service outlets in cities, counties, and towns. The second is get through the value conversion channel from fans to consumption. The third is operation model of modern new retail, namely offline store plus online shopping mall plus logistics. At present, the outstanding of this kind of operation is Shandong Post Company. It has actively built a rural e-commerce platform of buy and sell benefit. It built 124 county-level e-commerce operation centers, more than 2,000 towns-level e-commerce service centers, and more than 90,000 village-level e-commerce service stations in total, and realized the provisional coverage of county, town, and village. Solve the problem of the last kilometer distribution and the next day's distribution rate of the order reached 80%, with the trading volume exceeding 1.4 billion yuan, which has promoted rural consumption to be upgraded. Here is the typical case for Shandong Post Company. The first is search for special poor household and make on-the-spot investigation. That is to say, in Shandong Post Company, they make the on-spot investigation to decide the special poor household, then make the concrete measures to help them to poverty alleviation. The first is Shandong Post, I want to fund you. Targeted poverty alleviation, targeted recruitment. Entering Liuzhuang Village, Satu Town, to fund the targeted poverty alleviation household. When decide the concrete poverty alleviation household and practical agriculture product, then decide the targeted recruitment and use the mass bell recruitment. Help the poor household to carry out unified production, packaging, and product description of the more. That to say, the first is make the on-site investigation to decide which household belongs to the targeted poverty alleviation. then decided what kind of agricultural product, then help them unify the product packaging and product description. Here means the Sichuan pepper and sweet potato notes and other kind of jubi and this kind of product. And the practical cause of poverty alleviation, cooperate with the party's first secretary of Shandong province to endorse the product, that is, the local first secretary endorse the product and carry out no online read program, help the rural people solve the financing problem. To some extent, to some product, they mark the first secondary agricultural product. And for convenient the logistics, they mark the first secondary poverty alleviation road. This is the example. This is a typical example. Big cherry test food collection activity. Product pre-sear, pre-heating. The member of the two committees proposed targeted poverty alleviation and suggested that Shandong Post rural e-commerce should be included in the agenda. And event marketing and topical communication. Big cherry flies in an airplane. When big cherry goes on the market, it is a hot topic to build Yantai big cherry to fly to Nanjing in a first-class cabin, which not only draws the audience and communication of fans, but also gets extensive attention and reports from the media. Here's an example. Yantai cherry sits in the first-class cabin. You will eat the fish within 24 hours, within 1 day. This is the Shandong Post Company's rural e-commerce cases. Very interesting, very typical, very helpful. And Shandong Post Company's rural e-commerce has this kind of conclusion. First is social media commercialization. The strategic use of various social media to build exclusive social media business operation environment to form new mode of social media based e-commerce to achieve the transformation of enterprise innovation plus internet business and improve performance. The second is enterprise level self-media metrics. Group self-media metrics operation mode that is centered on the professional platform combined with 17 WeChat public account of local and municipal companies. Realize the integrated operation, serving and chain resource transformation, integrated management. The third is use the innovation form of rural e-commerce. Take WeChat plus WeChat More as a user gathering and sales platform of rural e-commerce. Offline outlets and logistics for service support and form an e-commerce service mode from land to tongue tip. And this is the concrete number for do the rural e-commerce in Shandong Post companies rural e-commerce. Except Shandong Post companies rural e-commerce is the Guangdong Post. Innovator another new kinds of rural e-commerce. To some extent, is different from the Shandong rural e-commerce. In Guangdong Post, the rural e-commerce characteristics is industrial goods purchasing plus agricultural products entering into city, plus agency service, plus inclusive finance, warehousing and distribution, plus e-commerce training. This is the Guangdong Post rural e-commerce platform. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a short break. The time is about 15 minutes. 15 minutes after, we will go on our lecture. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I are come back for continue our lecture. In Guangdong Post Company, the rural e-commerce characteristics give full play to the advantages of post service in rural area. With multiple outlets and comprehensive utilization of platform into the fields of express delivery, e-commerce, inclusive finance, targeted poverty alleviation, serve for agriculture, rural area, and farmer, and create the brand of national team of rural e-commerce. Since 2016, more than 4 billion yuan has been invested in the construction of 1,411 Yono-Bai sites, including 757 rural sites in villages and towns, covering more than 70% of administrative villages, covering 20 villages and towns. The second, rural e-commerce operation center of Heyuan Posts and 5 rural e-commerce service centers of counties and states has been built. In 25 professional e-commerce operation senior talents were trained. That is to say, one of the most evident characteristics of Guangdong Post's rural e-commerce, different from the Shandong, is 25 professional e-commerce operation senior talents. The third aspect is 5 Yono network county-level agricultural product providing more than 100 kinds of agricultural products on shelves. It includes agricultural product intercity Yono network Heyuan City Hall platform. This form is the agricultural product sales, online shopping, business promotion, group buying discounts, and other functions recruit more than 20 online business. Except Shandong Post and Guangdong Post, Jiangsu Post is another kind of example for rural e-commerce. In Jiangsu Post Company, the rural e-commerce rely on Yono network and Yono agricultural product platform. The online service system of agricultural products with Jiangsu characteristics is constructed by promoting the standardization and specialization of online operation of agricultural products. The deep integration Jiangsu Post and rural industrial chain has been realized. The project features are following. First, establish a linkage mechanism or connection mechanism of government plus post plus cooperative. Take the post local hall as the carrier, promote the online sales of agricultural product. The second is take one village, one product as starting point. Establish standardized operation process. and cultivate local characteristic agricultural product brands. 26 email local halls have been built. More than 2,000 kinds of agricultural products have been put into operation online. 86 agricultural product projects have been cultivated. The one characteristics different from Guangdong and Shandong. The Jiangsu Post characteristics is one village, one product. And the third is serve one village, one product, one shop as the goal. That is to say, in Jiangsu Post rural e-commerce, they first choose one village, one product. And the Post rural e-commerce platform serve one village, one product and one shop. With the one shop, so one village, one product. The practical measure is integrate post delivery and financial resource in large demonstration effect. Create Internet Plus small business entrepreneurship project. Through these three practical ways, the Jiangsu Post realized more than 300 brands and 25,000 kinds of goods has been collected, and a high quality industrial product sharing and rapid circulation channel has been established, helping smaller stores to save the purchase cost. Third, innovatively launch multiple internet financial products to fully support the development of Internet Plus stores. Fourth, strengthen the construction of entrepreneur environment. Regularly carry out entrepreneur training and improve the ability of post-business incubation. Just like I say, in Jiangsu Post, one important characteristic is, beside one village, one product. And another characteristic is to build and improve the post-business incubation ability and the training of the entrepreneur ability. Now, I want to talk the last problem, that is China post e-commerce development strategy. And in the last problem, I divided it into three parts. One is the problem e-commerce in rural posts. Here, I summarize the problem for China Post in developing rural e-commerce as the following. The first is two-way access problem. For industrial, the two-way access problem means for industrial product to get into countryside and the agricultural product to get into the city. This is called two-way problem. Now, the two-way access is not smooth. It needs to be further integrated into the overall layout of the development of the rural e-commerce by government at all levels. The post e-commerce platform has weak both in function and competitiveness. The traffic of the platform is smaller, which is not attractive to some extent to the government and to business. Government at all levels did not include post service in the overall or the total system of rural e-commerce or the total system of the rural development. The external to post music-led post shopkeeper is not unfamiliar. Post e-commerce platform has no commodity category and price advantage in rural buy-in and sell-out. The delivery from town to village is still the logistics bottleneck of post e-commerce development in rural areas. This is the two-way problem. The second is the reconstruction of e-commerce around the rural economy, farmers' life, and agricultural production needs to be innovated in operation and profit mode. And the operation mechanism needs to be further straightened out. The whole operation of rural e-commerce system is mostly centered on product, function, and platform. Without organization structure, process re-engineering, and resource integration centered on customer according to the characteristics of e-commerce, such as Nike, Taobao, Jingdong. The platform operation is not professional enough. The pace of integrating social resource and relying on external forces needs to be accelerated. The profit model is not clear. Grassroots enterprise and terminal outlets cannot see the profit point and value in a short time. The internal power is insufficient. Maybe we say internal power means the incentive. Incentive is not incentive. The second aspect we may summarize or we may say in brief that is must continue to improve the platform's function according to the customer's consumption. Now, the platform now the platform centered mainly on what kind of function the platform has. And not so much attention to the user's inconvenience, especially from the perspective of consumption, especially for the rural people use the platform as the company not pay much attention to this aspect. The third is the investment in capacity building around the talent team, information technology, hardware and software, storage and delivery, security, mechanism, and other aspects needs to be further increased. The fourth is the core of rural e-commerce. The convenient financial function is single and much more restricted by many factors. This cannot meet the actual needs. The fifth aspect is the incentive mechanism needs to be further improved. The platform operation authority to lower level enterprises not decentralized enough. The open interface is less. The enthusiasm of grassroots enterprise to participate in independent operations is not high, and the investment is not enough. The fifth aspect is to see. For a general platform to the lower level enterprise, there is not enough authority to give them, and later them can operate the business dependently, and the lack of the enthusiasm to do the business because they have less authority, cannot exert their initiative to do the rural business good. So this is a big problem. And the development strategy opposed rural e-commerce business, I think we may consider or resolve the problem from following aspect. The first is one body and two wings. We also call the first strategy is one body and two wings strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, post industry is an ancient industry. In China, traditionally we call the post industry has many outlets, has long management and wide coverage. In Chinese means 传统邮政点多线长面广。This is traditional China Post advantage. In China, in almost every town, the post has its own operation site. In commercial area, especially doing the e-commerce and doing the logistic delivery. In my opinion, I think this is a big advantage for China Post company. Based on the post window resource, we call the wide coverage as the window resource. Based on the post window resource guided by the market demand, China Post may actively build an online and offline integrated convenient service platform to adapt the development mode for modern e-commerce development and give play to the function of financial gain and delivery. China Post traditionally has a financial service, and in essence, Post is engaged in the service of delivery. So, if we develop the post e-commerce, we naturally exert these two aspects advantage, that is the financial service and delivery service. So here I think for China Post must build its own. First, one strategy is one body and two wings. One body, that means China Post. Two wings, financial service and delivery or logistic delivery. The second is form intelligent thinking. Though China or world get into the internet world, it is getting into the internet world has more than 20 years. But China Post Company, to some extent, now still lack of internet thinking compared with the other kind of network enterprise such as Ali, Jingdong, Tencent, and etc. So the second strategy is demand, or China Post Company should form internet thinking. That to say, it must reconstruct the post e-commerce value chain and the rural e-commerce ecosystem. It must build its own e-commerce ecosystem, give full play to the advantage of the three sectors, and implement the joint strategy, big post plus social resources. Here, give full play to the advantage of the three sectors. That to say, just now we say traditional post has many outlets, non-marriage, and wide coverage, and now become the logistic, financial, and information advantage. Third aspect, China Post Company must implement the system and mechanism innovation, especially in operation model and operation mechanism. These two aspects implement the innovation, give full play to the advantage of the central enterprise, and strengthen cooperation and complementarity with social resources. China Post Company belongs to the state-owned enterprise. It has much influence ability in society. So they must exert these aspects advantage and cooperate with the social resource, especially strengthen the complementarity with the social resources. The fourth is strive for government support, actively integrate into the strategy of party, secretary, and government at all levels, open the channel of buying and selling. That to say, China Post Company is a state-owned enterprise. But in fact, it do business in logistic delivery and rural e-commerce. Naturally, its service concerns all scope of the society. hence is a master strength for government support. Fifth aspect, strengthen the capacity building. The capacity building in delivery, processing, storage, and transportation. And exhibit this must strengthen the talent team construction and the information technology investment. The sixth aspect is enrich platform product, expand service areas, strengthen customer access, increase platform traffic, and increase platform volume. The seventh aspect must build unified e-commerce ecosystem in rural areas. Horizontally facilitate transaction between groups. Vertically meet the needs of individual business. Help the e-commerce ecosystem establishment. In fact, concerning two aspects. Horizontally that too strengthen the cooperative with different enterprise. Vertically that strengthen the post e-commerce servicing supply chain to meet the individual user servicing needs. The first aspect is, the last aspect is some ways and approaches for post e-commerce business development in rural areas. The first one is the lead. Establish in a unified organization to coordinate business, technique, and financial affairs among all sectors. To post rural e-commerce, it concerns many kinds of. Just now say, it concerns the local government, local enterprise, and the upstream and downstreams enterprise or consumer. Except the logistic, it leads the financial service, information service. So, for post e-commerce, it is very necessary to establish a unified organization to coordinate all the conflict in operating the business. This is very important. This is also called the organization re-engineering. The second aspect is strive to improve the function of post-rural comprehensive service platform. Improve function for a rural comprehensive service platform. The content including under the social channel of post-rural comprehensive service, including convenience service station, 3 kinds of rural service station, agriculture visitor points, distribution station, delivery personnel, in this aspect, for China Post e-commerce platform, big difference existed compared to other kind of civil logistic or e-commerce companies such as Taobao, such as Jingdong, such as Xianfeng. The third is build a social common distribution system. For the e-commerce development, any kind of e-commerce, at last, it is necessary to let the logistic realized, especially the last kilometer delivery realization, especially master according to the customer's demand, realizing delivery realization. So the third aspect is build a social common distribution system is very necessary or very important. The first is build a joint distribution system of urban and rural integration. Number of vehicle delivery frequency, seamless connection of whole post network, rapid flow of rural mail. The second is all urban and rural terminal of post delivery network are fully open to social channels. Just like I say, the post e-commerce platform must be cooperated with the social resources. That is to say, the social logistic company can use the post outlet resource also for increase the servicing effect. Posts also can use the social channels. The third is strive for the support of local government. Just as I say, the rural e-commerce development, the focus is in rural area. In this aspect, in this area, the infrastructure is very important. Except the infrastructure, there are many kinds of soft condition also important. And only two, post company itself solving this problem or provide the condition is not enough. Must rely on or get the help of local government. This kind of condition can be solved easily. The fourth is optimize the process and improve the ability of post logistic distribution. That to say, must start the logistic run ruler and take advantage of the information technique or software technique to optimize the flow access and increase the operation efficiency. The fourth, actively develop rural e-commerce cooperation center. Based on the existing site, rural e-commerce operating center should take the county town and the suburb county town as nodes. Second is build some main function demonstration, product display, transaction segment, technical support, all the sales service, personnel training, warehouse, and distribution. The third is capital investment, seeking government support. Rural offline channel contracting is one of the investment direction of government. E-commerce into rural comprehensive demonstration project subsidies. In fourth aspect to say, we must take the advantage of post companies sites, platform, and expanding the function and do some innovation in marketing and product demonstration and cooperation model with local government and etc. Then the fifth is constantly innovate rural financial mode. Here give some theoretic suggestions. The first is provide main online and offline payment channels for rural e-commerce. Second is provide financial self-service to rural users. The third is provide withholding service for rural users. The fourth suggestion is providing financial service for rural users. The fifth aspect is provide inclusive rural credit service with credit as core. Now in China, in city, the financial service is very common and very convenient. But In rural area, in countryside, it's not so convenient because traditionally in rural area, the financial institute only the countryside credit cooperatives, now called countryside commercial business bank. Except this financial institution, there isn't other kind of financial institution provide the servicing the financial service. So in rural area or in countryside, the financial service is not so convenient. So if we develop the countryside e-commerce, the financial service must be improved, no matter from the service agency, service cans, or from the service convenience. It needs much kind of innovation, much kind of increase. This is the fifth suggestion. The sixth suggestion is accelerate the construction of rural e-commerce information technology platform to achieve wide access and multiple links. First one is reconstruct the information technology platform post-rural e-commerce, speed up the construction of online and offline channels, and fully access such as channel as Yodo network, mobile phone client, WeChat, post outlets, social agent sites, newspaper kiosks, and post marketing terminals, and etc. The second is realize the incarnation of post information system through the platform integration of post financial and delivery information system fully release the development potential. Third is improve system operation efficiency and user experience effect. When users use the post service, whether through Yodo network, mobile phone client, or comprehensive service platform, they are handled through a unified background to ensure the consistency of user experience. This is a totally lecturing. I want to discuss this afternoon. China Post e-commerce development in the future must get big development. Now it faces many problems. Also, it make much attainment. In the future, I think there are much kind of new servicing mode, new typical example, and a new attainment to support China social economy development will occur. And all this occurring need you and me gives their own endeavor. That is I want to say. Finally, I help each or every listeners in the future in developing or promote the post e-commerce development. Give your own contribution. I think everyone must be get big contribution. Okay, thank you.